We're here to unveil a sculpture of an Australian football legend.
Bob Warren was my nickname at school because I played football. But they're accepting it now for what it is, the biggest and best game in the world.
We're here to honour a man who gave football far more than he ever took credit for. A fierce competitor and a wonderful ambassador. A man who, in my view, lit the fuse that took Australian football to the world stage. Born in 1943, he grew up in Botany, and it was this small suburb in Sydney South where he fostered his love for the round ball game. He went on to join Canterbury Marrickville and eventually St George in '63, where he remained for the next 12 years, winning 3 New South Wales State League titles, 1 premiership and 2 state cups. In 1965, he made his debut for Australia in what would be the start of a remarkable Socceroos career. This football legend never backed away from a challenge. There are so many members of the Warren family in the crowd today, including his grandkids, that it can remain a secret no longer. I'm delighted to ask 2 of our great current Socceroos stars of today in Tim Cahill and Matt McKay to join Basil Sellers to officially unveil the newest addition to our sports sculpture project, Johnny Warren, Captain Socceroo. Hey.
See this statue of our uncle and our father and family member unveiled. We're particularly thankful to Tony Shepherd, the SCG Trust, the Heritage Committee, to Basil Sellers. We can't thank you enough for contributing to this marvellous statue. And of course, Tim Hooper, thank you so much. We'll never forget you initiating this and following it right through until the end.
He's a pioneer of the game. It's hard to put in words. I can only think about someone that put us on the map, keeping his dream alive to keep us global, to keep kids inspired, to help them follow their dreams. And this is something that has finally been done, and with the right people behind it, this is what the game's all about.
The game wouldn't be here today at the level it is now without his help. Another thing I liked is that people can walk down to the stadium, get pictures with it. It's out there, everyone will see people driving past, so it's brilliant.
I first met Johnny Warren in '68. It was my second pre-season friendly game, playing for South Coast United. And I think his name was Phil Murphy from the newspaper, and he said, "What do you think of Johnny Warren?" I'd scored a couple of goals, so I'm on to myself again, And I said, "Who's Johnny Warren?" He said, "The guy that scored 4. I went, "Oh, okay." He said, "He's captain of Australia." I said, "Really?" I said, "I might play against him next year. I'll be playing for England."
It's an appropriate moment. It's about time that this country symbolically repaid the great man. The important thing to remember about Johnny Warren is that what he did throughout his life was not so much to benefit football, but to benefit Australia, because he wanted to enrich Australia through football. He wanted us to be true citizens of the world and to be relevant in the world through football, which we are now, and that's largely down to him. And this statue, which is an excellent piece of work, symbolically is a part repayment by Australian society, the way I see it, to the great man.
He was the Pied Piper in many ways. He played a tune which was seductive to a lot of people, and they followed him. And honestly, we wouldn't be here today as a sport with the same strength and the same importance to Australia if not for this guy.
To me, it's an acknowledgement of a wonderful contributor to Australian sport in John, and also, I suppose, the step that football is taking, that is up there with all the greats of Australian sport.
It's great for the game, so people come to the game and they see the sculpture, and John's been recognised in certain fields and on the way, and rightly so, and this is just tops it off.
I think Adrian Alston summed it up. Once he stopped playing, he just kept going. The mission was to put football at the front, not at the back end, and his mission was to get us to World Cups every time. His mission was also to ensure that we actually won a World Cup, so I think it's tremendous.
Johnny's up there looking over us today, which I'm sure he is. What do you think he'd be feeling and thinking?
Well, he'd be saying, "I told you so."
When I'm up the big football field in the sky, I just want people just to remember I told you so.
Walk on with hope in your heart, and you never walk alone. You